If you like our video, click the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses and training materials, visit us at teachucomp.com. To customize your company's advanced settings, click the Settings button in the QuickBooks Online toolbar. Then click the Account and Settings link under the Your Company heading in the menu to open the Account and Settings window. Then click the Advanced Company Settings category link in the menu at the left side of the window to show the individual settings in that category to the right. The Advanced Settings category contains the accounting, company type, chart of accounts, categories, automation, projects, time tracking, currency, and other preferences sections. To edit the individual settings in each section, click anywhere in a section to activate its settings. The Accounting section lets you customize your accounting settings. To select the first month of your company's fiscal year, use the First Month of Fiscal Year drop-down. To select the first month of your company's income tax year, use the First Month of Income Tax Year drop-down. To select your company's accounting method, choose either cash or accrual from the Accounting Method drop-down as appropriate. If you are not sure which method you use, check with your accountant or bookkeeper. To prevent changes to transactions before a specified closing date, click the Close the Books toggle switch to set it to the on position. Then enter the closing date into the Closing Date field that appears. Then use the drop-down below that to either allow changes to transactions before the closing date after being warned, or allow them only after being warned and entering a password. If you choose to use a password to prevent changes to closed transactions, enter it into the Password and Confirm Password fields that then appear. Be sure to save the password in a secure location too if needed later. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. In the Company Type section, to select the tax form your company uses for filing taxes, select it from the Tax Form drop-down. If you are unsure which tax form you file, ask your accountant. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Chart of Accounts section lets you enable account numbering and set some default accounts in the Chart of Accounts. To enable account numbering, click the Enable Account Numbers toggle switch to set it to the on position. If enabled, to then show the account numbers on reports and within your view of transactions, check the Show Account Numbers checkbox. If shipping is enabled in sales forms, to choose the default account to use for customer shipping, select it from the Shipping Account drop-down. If discounts are enabled in sales forms, to choose the account to use for customer discounts, select it from the Discount Account drop-down. If you selected the In a Single Account option in the Bills and Expenses section of the Expenses Company Settings category, then you can use the Billable Expense Income Account drop-down to select the account to use for the related Track Billable Expenses and Items as Income setting. If tips are enabled in sales forms, to choose the account to use for recording tips, select it from the Tips Account drop-down. Your choice is tied to your responses made when you enabled the Tip Gratuity setting in the Sales Form Content section of the Sales Company Settings category. Note that in all the account drop-downs, you can select an existing account from the Chart of Accounts, or you can click the Add New choice at the top of the drop-down menu to create a new account if needed. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Categories section lets you configure class and location tracking. To enable class tracking, which adds a class field to forms that you can use to classify transactions, click the Track Classes toggle switch to set it to the on position. If enabled, to show a warning if a transaction is not classified when it is saved, check the Warn Me when a transaction isn't assigned a class checkbox. Also, if enabled, to choose whether to assign classes to entire transactions or to each row within a transaction, select your desired choice from the Assign Classes drop-down that appears. To enable location tracking, which adds a location field to forms that you can use to assign locations to transactions, click the Track Locations toggle switch to set it to the on position. If enabled, then use the Location Label drop-down that appears to choose a label for the location field. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Automation section contains settings that let you speed up data entry in QuickBooks by automatically filling out and processing transactions. To automatically fill other form fields based on the last saved transaction for a selected customer, employee, or vendor, ensure the Pre-fill Forms with Previously Entered Content toggle switch is set to the On position. To automatically apply any existing credits to the next invoice you create for a selected customer, ensure the Automatically Apply Credits toggle switch is set to the On position. To automatically create invoices for customers with unbilled activity, click the Automatically Invoice Unbilled Activity toggle switch to set it to the On position. If enabled, then use the drop-down that appears to select the Automatic Invoice Creation option you prefer, or if you only want to automatically be reminded to manually create the invoices. Next, use the drop-down fields for the Schedule setting to choose when to create the invoices or be reminded to create the invoices. To automatically apply bill payments entered in the register to the oldest existing bill, ensure the Automatically Apply Bill Payments toggle switch is set to the On position. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Projects section lets you enable projects for your company file. To enable projects and see all related sales, expenses, and timesheets for projects in one place, ensure the Organize All Job-Related Activity in One Place toggle switch is set to the On position. To save your changes if needed, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Time Tracking section contains settings for timesheet entries. To add a service field to timesheets that lets you specify which services were performed for a customer, click the Add Service Field to Timesheets toggle switch to set it to the On position. To add a billable per hour checkbox to your timesheets so you can bill customers for timesheet activity, ensure the Make Single Time Activity Billable to Customer toggle switch is set to the On position. To show the billing rate to customers who enter time, check the Show Billing Rate to Users Entering Time checkbox. If you bill a different rate to customers than you pay your employees, you may want to uncheck this checkbox. To select which day is the first day of the work week for time tracking, select it from the First Day of Work Week drop-down. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button instead. The Currency section lets you set the default currency settings. To select the default currency used by your QuickBooks company file, select it from the Home Currency drop-down. To enable transaction tracking for foreign currencies, click the Multi-Currency toggle switch to set it to the On position. Only enable this if you have bank accounts, customers, or vendors who do not use your home currency. Once multi-currency is enabled in QuickBooks, it cannot be disabled or hidden. Also, you will not be able to change your home currency. If you start to enable this setting, a Need Help Deciding About Multi-Currency link appears, as well as a Once You Turn On Multi-Currency list. To finish enabling multi-currency, you must then check the I understand I can't undo multi-currency checkbox, and then click the Save button. QuickBooks then updates the exchange rates every 4 hours and adds new fields and columns to your QuickBooks Online Plus account. To save your changes if you did not enable multi-currency but only changed your home currency, click the Save button. To cancel any changes, click the Cancel button. The Other Preferences section lets you set miscellaneous settings. To select the date format used by your company file, select it from the Date Format drop-down. To set the number format used by your company file, select it from the Number Format drop-down. To choose what to label your customers as within Forms, select a choice from the Customer Label dropdown. To be warned if you enter a duplicate check number, ensure the Warn if Duplicate Check Number is Used toggle switch is set to the On position. To be warned if you enter a duplicate bill number, click the Warn Me when I enter a bill number that's already been used for that vendor toggle switch to set it to the On position. To be warned if a duplicate journal entry number is entered, click the Warn if Duplicate Journal Number is Used toggle switch to set it to the On position. To set the amount of inactive time that elapses before QuickBooks automatically signs you out, select it from the Sign Me Out if Inactive For dropdown. To save your changes, click the Save button in this section. To cancel the changes, click the Cancel button. When finished, to close the Account and Settings window, click the Done button that appears in the lower right corner of the window, or click the X button in its upper right corner. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. Get ad-free courses at teachucomp.com.